It's a good job I checked the microphone because he wasn't on, and now it is. So we are here. On the bench, we're going to be building some lithium batteries. I have a little... Here's one I prepared earlier, that blue Peter here. And here's one I prepared even earlier, which is a finished one, which we're going to do the 4-cell one last, I think. We'll do the 2 cells and the 3 cells, because I don't have any of them yet, and I need them ready for... The next plane we're going to build after I finish the Voltini is going to be the Drift, so I needed some 2-cell batteries ready for the Drift. But I'd like to welcome everybody to the stream, if there is anybody here yet, which there probably isn't, but I don't mind. Yes, shut up, Alexa. The online stuff can only happen when I have the house to myself. What's very good at the moment. Right. So, I need to plug in the solenoid, which you can see sort of just off camera there, so that can start heating up. We're going to use that for cables because I do have this big, beautiful Sunco 787A Plus spot welder, especially the spot welder on the batteries. It has more or less been proven at this point that if you're sensible with it and you have a decent enough soldering iron, which that one isn't, by the way, that one's cheap and shit, but anyway, that you can do them without a spot welder. I already had one, so I'm going to carry on using it, and it is a lot easier. Obviously, you're going to need your cells, so I'm going to start with some of the Panasonic cells. These are the Panasonic NCRs, something like that. But yeah, so this is set up in a 2-cell configuration. As you see, positive and negative. Can you see that? Yeah, positive, negative. They are together because we're going to wire this up in series. I did do a separate live stream, which will be in a separate VOD, going through these batteries. We've got 3 different types. We've got Sanyos, which are 3500 10 amps. The Panasonics, which are recommended by Matthew Ogborn, at 3400 and 6.4 amps. And then we have the ones that I've used before, which are in these cells here, which are the Samsung Q30s, which are 3000 but 20 amps. So I'll pop that in there so then we know where it is, and I'll pop this case over here. Now, when I've built them before, I used this tray, put the cells in, sort of glued them together. What I do have, after seeing Matthew Ogborn actually build his, is I have this roll of foamed tape. As you can see, it's got a little bit of foam in between each. It looks a bit like a record, I suppose. I used this for flight controllers when I was into mini quads because it's about the width, bang on, of a flight controller. So you would cut to square off, and you can stick a naze or whatever it was into a quad that didn't have the exact holes there, which the MXP230 from X-Hover, that's how far back we're going, didn't. So it was always stuck very well. I've had maybe one flight controller come loose in a long time of using it. So, yes, so as you can possibly see, I've used it to stick cells together. I'm actually really happy with that. And as you can tell, we've got plenty of this to go out. It's made by Coroplast, which are a brand that I recognise the name of. I believe I got this from Rapid. That's where I got like solder and shit from. So we'll see how we get on. I don't think you need some nickel strip. This isn't obviously a JLY lead or whatever that says it is. This is just what I use to keep it together. Yeah, again, bought on eBay. Make sure it's nickel and not nickel plated copper or something like that. It needs to be full nickel. You can also get something like this, which, as you can see, would be useful if you were doing 4 of these in parallel. But because I'm using series, I'm going to use this. And also, the majority of the cells I'm doing today are 2 or 3 cell, whereas that's based more on 4. I've got some 14 gauge AWG wire. This is from Synergy. This is from the component shop. We've also got some balance lead extensions, which are what I normally use to cut up and use as the balance plugs on the batteries. Whoops. So we've got 2 cells because it has 3 wires. We have 3 cell as it has 4 wires, and we have 4 cell as they have 5 wires, and I've used these to make these in the past. So to warm myself up nice and gently, and that's just a battery that I have on hand. To warm myself up nice and gently, as I say, we're going to start with the 2 cells. Another thing that I should possibly have a look for is, will this heat shrink tube fit over this? Certainly not. Ooh, we've got this tube, heat shrink tube. That looks like it's about bang on. There we are, look at that. So we'll use some of that. I'll keep all the heat shrink over there. Oops, all sorts of shit in the way. We're going to need some other heat shrink for doing these, for example. That's why the soldering iron is on over here. Good thing about a desk that you can get to both sides of is you can sort of set up 2 stations and I can move and switch about. Only trouble is if I'm sat over there, I can't see the computer screen. But anyway, let's see how we get on with this. Give me a moment. Right, so boom. These are the settings that I use for spot welding these batteries. I don't exactly 100% know what they mean, but there we are. I think one's length and one's strength, or yeah, current and pulse. So that's strength. That's something else. So here are our batteries, and as I've said before, positive and negative at one end, positive and negative at the other, so that we can join them together. And what we're going to do is simply, this is going to spring everywhere as soon as I take it out of the bag. And we just need a length of it that's about as long as the back of the batteries. Let's see what this looks like. That's massively too long, so we can cut it down a smidgen. Of course, you have got to be careful with these. I wouldn't be surprised if during this live stream we see at least one spark. But there we are, that'll do. That's about good enough. Can you see that? It's quite hard. Well, yeah, that'll do. So, I'm going to be making 4 2S batteries today. So what I'm going to do, while I've got one that's the right length, is just cut myself the rest of them. In terms of the spec of this nickel, I'll be completely honest with you, I have zero idea. Doesn't need to be that drastic with these. So here we are, we've now got our 4 little bits of metal. I'm going to try and fold this out of the way. It looks a little bit like a rotary engine. I'll pop that over there. We've got our 4 bits of metal here. Got our first victim. And with this, actually, there's not going to be that much spot welding because the only weld that we do is between these 2 cells here. So, we don't do them on the other end, of course, because that's when we're going to have our tags for the main power leads. So, we're going to line this up roughly where we want it, and then nice and simply, you can see this, can't you, roughly? Boom! Blanc! And then it's quite hard, it's going to be hard to see at this camera, this resolution, but there is 2 little dots there. What I do personally is do 2 one way, and then 2 the other. Excellent. So, that in theory should be it. So now we need to actually do the tags for the battery. Now, what I think we're best doing is getting one of these connectors actually, and I'll move the hot plate over a little bit, or the heated, the insulated tile. We have got the technology of a metal clamp, which I realise is not probably the best idea. Let me see. Have we got a wooden peg? No, we don't. Jesus. I don't know what smells in there, but it does. Whoops. Not like awful, just strong or something. Okay, so this is like a Bakelite thing. I've got it just there. Negative. No, that's plus. Okay, that is fine. So these wires, I'm not sure exactly how long we want it. We don't want it massively long. That's about that big will do. And I'll do what I've done with the strips as well. I'll cut I could probably use some snips. Snip snips! I'm not really doing this on the camera. So I'm just snipping the wire here to the right size. Right. Let's do another 4 of the black. Whoops. Right, there we are. So we've got all of it for our 2-cell batteries. So we just need to make up some like little tags to spot weld on, and then go from there basically. So we need our little nickel strip. Actually, I think scissors are better for this. Okay, we'll scissor. And I've got 2 little ones. This is enough for 1 battery. So what we're going to do is put that on there a little bit like that. Can you see the light? And lots of shiny stuff doesn't really help. We can put that on there. You little shit, come here. Okay, so that's them done. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to... there you are, they're the dots. So that's what it looks like. What I'm going to do is going to bend this now over, and then we can actually use this tag to put our leads on. I realised them red wires are a little bit all over the place. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to solder this up first, and I can make sure that they're going to be the right length. Okay. So, okay. So, not the best job I've ever done, but to be honest with you, I think this is the first time I'm soldering these connectors. So don't, like, fully blame me. Okay. Ouch, that's hot. I'm gonna give it a minute. Shit. I'm doing a really awful job of this. To be fair, that red is not awful, but that black fucking is. Jesus. can't even get the fucking cable off now. I don't think it helps that I'm doing this kind of ass backwards. Shit. Too hot at the minute. Let me do another cable. Come on, you fucking thing. I wonder if this just can't produce enough heat. I'm going to use my other soldering iron that I've used before on these and not had an issue. If I could get it off of the bleeding thing. I have another soldering iron. This one. Like that. Right. So while we wait for the red one to warm up, let's maybe do the other tab. And we can, oh, that's going to be a slight issue. Let's just back that off a little bit. Okay, so we'll put sort of solder in this gap here with the cables. Maybe I can figure the thing out because it's a bit weird. And we'll see how we get on. Let's just see from this side. Excuse me. So here's our balance lead, because that white lead will go down to the back, and then we've got the black and red will come up here. I actually really like that as a length. So what I'm going to do is heave. Oh, okay. So well, there's our balance leads done. Okay, well, that went a lot better. Is it the best soldering job I've ever done? Certainly not, but it's there. We obviously need to heat shrink that before we connect it to our actual battery. We also need to make sure that these are roughly the same length. Right, heat shrink. I'm going to use this blue, this lovely fetching blue that I have here. Although, will it shrink down enough? We'll give it a try. That is almost out of gas. Yeah, I mean, not the best heat shrink job I've ever done in the world, but the chance of that causing issues is very small. Do as I say, not as I do, and do it properly. So, positive is the smaller one. Negative is going to be a bit like that. So, I'm actually going to take a solder for this, I think. Come on, you little fucker of a thing. Doesn't help that, as I say, I'm like doing this from the wrong side of the bench to where it's plugged in. Oh, don't go on there. Don't go on there. That's hot. Fuck's sake. Right. Okay. I realise that is off camera. I apologise. But that is actually quite good. Whew. Now again, this is the first 2 cell that I've done, so it might not be the best you've ever seen, but that went quite well. So next we need to get our balance lead, and the thing that sets the length really is your furthest leads. So the white one is the one that's going to be the first away for us. It's going to solder onto this metal strip at the back. Not sure exactly how to hold this, in all honesty. Don't really want to use the metal vise, because that's not a good idea. So I put it in this maybe. No, that's not going to help us. Oh, that's seized up a little bit. That's a lot tighter than it used to be. That's what she said, or he said. Right, what I think I might do is put it in here, and then we can right, so I want it to be going over on that side. Okay, and actually the tape will help hold that cable there. Okay, so we can line that up there. We'll bear the wires back a bit. Alright, I'm just going to dab a little bit. Right, there we are. So now we're going to get red onto here. Right, how does that look? Actually, really good. I've obviously melted a little bit, that's fine. And now what I should be able to do is actually bend over these contacts, like so. And there we sort of have a finished battery. Obviously that white lead, a little bit longer than it needs to be. We could always try and sort of coil it up or pull it between the cells to take up some of the slack, which I have now done. You can see it's now sort of pushed in between the cells, take up that bit of slack. And this is basically ready to now be heat shrunk. Heat shrink. I'm going to try this black stuff, see what this is like. 1 kilovolt apparently is what it can manage. I don't think we'll be using quite that amount, but we'll see. Cut it off a bit bigger than it needs to be. Please fit. You're like nearly the perfect size. Oh yes. Hey fucking presto. I am so happy. Okay, so that is now in. And then I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm going to grab the heat gun and do it properly. Very there's no thing in there. There's no cone thing to. So we'll have to. I've got all the plugs used up now. Right, let's. I was on cold then. Okay, hopefully that was somewhat on camera. I believe it was. I'm slightly worried because that's obviously a hot thing in a cardboard box. But here we are. Here's our sort of finished cell. Doesn't look too bad actually. I'm quite impressed. It's not 100% waterproof. What I should have possibly done is put some tape over this end before we started. So I'm going to get the old what I think I will do with this one, because as you can see it's not great, I'm going to get some Gorilla Tape, some of the clear stuff. I'll bring both over because I think we're almost out on one of these rolls, and then this will allow us to okay, so next time I will do the tape on the inside, but you know what? That looks quite tidy. I'm quite happy with that, in all honesty. What we need is the patented, I presume, Dynamo Electric Tag Bob magnets. No, not magnets. It is a 3000. I don't have it written on the full cell. 3000 4S Lion. It's not 4S though, you idiot. It is 2S Lion. Print. Excellent. So, I'm almost going to say this is perfect, but I haven't actually plugged it into our tester to see if it works. So that's going to be real interesting. So 3S 2000 Lion will bring in the tester of Destiny, which will probably tell me this won't work because I've said that it's brilliant. So if we plug it in, we need to set it to lithium ion. Cell, it says it's 2 cell. Excellent. So that is actually a dumb battery ready to be charged. Now when I charge these batteries for the first time, I always do, and this is honestly because I don't actually do this often with normal batteries, is I always charge them in one of them safety bag things. So if it does go pop, we have got control of it. So now I know that I can make these, and personally think I make them quite well. What I'm going to do for the other 3, which so it's another one using. Oh no, there's not 3,000, are they? It's not 3,000 because it's so it's. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how I label these slightly. So it's not 3,000, they're 3,400, aren't they? Something like that. Everything just went on the floor. So these are how big? 3,400, 6.4. 3.46A Lion is what I'm actually going to put on it. Because I can work out that it's a 2 cell from the amount of cells you can physically see and the balance lead. What's important is to know what cells are in there. So that's what I'm going to do. 3,400, which was wrong anyway, because I put 3,000 on the other one. But in fact, it's a 6 amp cells. So we'll put that on there like that. May put a bit of tape over that, but we'll leave that. So yeah, that's our first cell of the day done. I'm going to put this over here near the window, ready to be thrown outside should it decide to spontaneously combust. But what I need now is our box of Lions. So we need 2 more of these and 4 of these. I think what I might do today is just do the 2 cells, and then I can deal with the others another day. Because another thing that's kind of annoying about these is, again, compared to other batteries where I may leave them, for example, to have tea or something for a few moments, these I do not leave until they are fully charged. Because Jesus H. Christ, I've built these. Let's be careful with them. So here are our cells that we're going to now be using. 2 more of the Panasonics and 4 of these. Going to make 3 batteries. We need to bring out the sticky back foam again. Don't need that much of it. I used a bit too much on the last ones. We'll cut a section off. I will show you that section, don't worry, this is how much I'm using. I'm going to stick it onto one of these cells as straight as possible. Obviously you do not want to mix cells when you're doing them like this. So positive, I need the negative like that, and we're going to just set them on the desk so that we know that they're the same height, and line them up and push them together. Here we are. Right, those are about level. We're going to get one of our silver trim bits that we got before. Nickel, technically, not silver, but they're silver coloured. We're going to put it on top like that. So this is to join the 2 cells together to make it a 2 cell. I'm going to... there we are. So that's fine. We'll just... Shit, whoops. Doesn't smell like lithium, so I think we're safe. Right, actually I've gone slightly further. I want to do each step on each of them. So let's cut off. Again, positive and negative, you can see the differences. And we're going to squeeze them together. A big old squeeze. They're barely stuck together. That's not the best placement I've ever done, but they are sort of being held together. So we'll get our silver strip. I'm going to do these at once because I think otherwise they may generally fall apart. Holy moly. There we are, there's another one. Be careful keeping these separate and away from this metal case. Same with these. Okay, so positive, negative, squeeze them together like this. Give him a squeeze. And then that's fucking excellent. Right, so excellent. Right, so that's that bit done. Right, okay. So those are all our shiny shinies. I'm just going to get rid of some of this crap out of the way that we don't need. So we're not working over the top of everything. I realise the bench is very messy, but this is when you know it is a productive workbench. You can't see some of the shit that's over here. So you should feel very lucky. I just want to make sure that everything is fine on the YouTube side. We have a like, so thank you very much to whoever liked the stream. Very much appreciated. So I'm going to actually put that battery out of the way so it doesn't end up getting abused. So I'm just going to check notifications, nothing of importance. Okay, so here are tags on that battery. Move it over there, next set of battery. Just bend these tags. Put them on the cells a little like this. Try and make sure they're facing the same way. Okay, that's one on, other one on, roughly the same area. Fuck. Come on, you bloody thing. You better that way around now? You better that way up. Okay, so that's the tags on for that one. So again, I'm just bending these little 90-degree bits of nickel. Excellent. Okay, so next, as you can tell from the first one we did, my favourite job is the right positive to the top. Yeah, this is not the ideal way of doing it. That's a bit better. Right. Right. Not the best heat shrink, I'll be honest with you. It does seem to be some of the old, cheaper, shittier stuff that we used to use, which, considering it's blue, I'm not surprised, because we probably don't use it that often. There we are. That end of the solder line is a bit shit. Come on. Come here, you little bastard. Right. So that's one made up. We basically need to do that 2 more times. Yeah, that one is the positive one. Just need to make sure. Excellent. Okay. Doing the old heat shrinking my bob again. Excellent. Done. That's 2 done. One last to do for the 2 cells. I think I'm only going to do the 2 cells today, in all honesty. I mean, we're still going to be probably here for about 2 hours, which is a good sort of first test stream, other than the first one. Again, I won't be able to do these too often. It's a case of doing them whenever I have the house to myself, because it's a bit of a rigmarole to set up. Of course, it's all got to be temporary. But I'm really impressed with how this laptop is doing. It's been sat at its boost frequency, going into a bit like computer nerd stuff. It's been sat at its boost frequency on the processor for like 3 hours now, and like the air that's coming out of it is cold. Like it's whatever cooling system they've got in this laptop, good old Dell, then it's really working. Because I mean, to be fair, it could be hitting 100 degrees. I don't know that, but the fact that it's staying at its boost frequency of 2.4, 2.5, it's doing real well. Fuck you. Um, Right, done. Excellent. We have 3 connectors ready for soldering. There's our we need to put a little hot as bollocks. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hi. How does that look? Not bad. We will leave that as a positive outcome. That's one. So that's negative. Alright. So okay, so that's that one done. All right. Okay. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Right, so onto balance leads. They always get put on the opposite side of where the tags are, so we're going to be putting it there. And of course the white is what sort of gives us the length of our balance lead. What I'm going to do is just fold up the lead. I believe we're back. Okay, so that's our white leading. Ooh, got to be careful. Don't want it shorting out now. Yeah, trying to get this cable on now is a bit of a nightmare. Aha. Aha. Okay. For fuck's sake. Okay, so funny bloody noise. Oh, the little silver aeroplanes. Makes a lot of sense. Right, so we've got the leads cut to the right length now for the other side. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is before I wrap it up, let's give them a test. If we plug it in, we set it to lithium ion. Both cells are showing up there. Both cells are actually about balanced, which is nice. So okay. Right, but I need to actually disappear for a little bit of time, so I will see you all very shortly. Hey, it is me. I am back. Dropped my car off at the garage so that I can have some new back shoes put on. Just bear with me a moment. So we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Are these okay? So we've got this one to do. Ouch. Oh, off camera, my mistake. Oh shit, oh shit. Okay. That is wham. I will not bend that over yet, we'll just put them over there. Got our next battery. I didn't snip them down, so that was a waste of my time. Okay. Okay, I never actually tested that little battery. I think it was this one that I've just done. I'll test them both just in case. Lithium ion, fine. soldering the leads on. I get it's hard to see, but again, I want to do it correctly. Oh god, the whole thing's falling apart. Fuck, 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 fuck you. This one has been a little bit of a bitch. Haha, that went a lot better that time. So I'm just bending the tabs over now, because these now all work. Bending the tabs, like so. Excellente. So what I'm going to do is, in contrary to the first one, which was a bit of a mistake, I'm going to use the Gorilla tip, which I believe I'm out of on this roll, so I'll throw it away. Throw it away! No, not like that. It's a Faulty Towers reference, more or less. So I'm going to use some of the good old clear Gorilla tape. So a bit of tape on the end. So again, just pouring a bit of tape. Self-amalgamating tape, or whatever it's called, or something like that may have been a better option, but I have Gorilla Tape. That's what I'm using. I love me some Gorilla Tape. So yeah, here are 3 semi-finished batteries. We now just need to get some of the old heat shrink. So right, we're done with ye olde heat shrink for today, because I'm not going to bother with the 3 cells today, or the extra 4 cells. Can't show them with the 4 cells actually, because I need to find them other couple of pink batteries. Whoops, what am I falling over? That's not good. Falling over my first battery I made today. So, let's right. Oh, these cells slightly fatter, so they won't fit. Maybe. That's interesting. Oh no, we done did it. I mean, they're 18650, so that's the size of the physical size of the cell. So it shouldn't. I'm going to push it really far down this end of the thing because we haven't got that tape on there to help there, whereas this hasn't got anything, which is possibly a bad idea, but we'll see. Is that safely on? Yep. So here we are. There's a finished. That's a sharp cell, actually. Sharp Sanyo. I'm going to do this one next, so I can get a label on it. Okay. Okay, so that is our other green Panasonic cell. So I want to get out our label maker, print another one. Okay, so what are these again? Where's the other one? Whoop, this one. So these were what? 3500 10 amps. So I can just go back 3500 10 amp Lion print. Put it off. Print it again. And cut it off. Keep them on top of there out of the way. We've got this one finished off with. And then I get to charge them, which will be exciting. I get to go bang in my face. Jesus, this is a lot harder to do on these cells than the green ones. They must be. So what I am going to do is just, whoops. Okay, I'll let them cool down a bit before I put the labels on, but that's the labels that we are putting on. Not sure if I showed them. 3500 10 amp Lion packs. We're more or less done. So here's the very first one with a slightly dodgy tape at the end. The only thing that we're going to have to do, of course, other than label the two that have their labels on, is we just need to glue. It's always glue Velcro on batteries. Glue the Velcro onto the bottom of the battery so it's ready to go into planes. These are all the batteries done and dusted for use with the drift. Actually, maybe I should have done the dart ones first, but never mind. I do need to kind of get the dart up here to make sure, you know, how I'm going to build the batteries. I think I'm going to build them so that they end up, you know, with another cell on top of these two. This has been a good 2 hours 20-minute live stream. I know there's about a 20-minute gap in there where I left for a bit, but I'm actually very hungry because it's 12, quarter past 12. I've had nothing to eat all day. So we'll get something sorted. So have they cooled down? Cooled down enough. I'll attempt to charge these again. If you're making your own and you don't normally, make sure you certainly charge your own cells in a battery bag just in case it all goes tits up. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the stream. If there is anybody watching, please like. It does go onto the VOD. And if you're watching the VOD, of course, like as well. Subscribe if you're new. Leave some comments if you have any comments or questions. and I thank you very much for being with me today. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.